Hello, everyone. I'm Earl Palacios, one of the elders of Grace Church, and it's my privilege to give you the encouragement and announcements for this week. But first of all, just like to share with you that Len and I were so excited to be part of the in-person gathering that's going to happen this Saturday at 10:15 at the Evangelical Church. For those of you who don't know yet, the Abu Dhabi government has given permission for churches to have worship services again with precautions and limits that need to be complied with. So if you are still prayerfully considering coming and joining the gatherings on Saturdays at 10:15, please check out the Grace Church website where there's a video giving us instructions on what precautions need to take and how we can register for the in-person gathering on Saturdays at 10:15. Now for the encouragement this week, I'd like to share from 1 Corinthians 12 verses 7 to 11. And here Paul is writing to the Corinthians and talking about spiritual gifts. So I'll read starting from verse 7. To each one is given the manifestation of the Spirit for the common good. For to one is given through the Spirit the utterance of wisdom, and to another the utterance of knowledge according to the same Spirit. To another faith by the same Spirit. To another gifts of healing by the one Spirit. To another the working of miracles. To another prophecy. To another the ability to distinguish between spirits. To another various kinds of tongues, to another the interpretation of tongues. All these are empowered by one and the same Spirit, who apportions to each one individually as he wills. Now, Paul is telling us several things here. Now, this Spirit that Paul is talking about is none other than the Holy Spirit. In earlier verses, this is the Spirit that makes believers declare that Jesus is the Christ. This is the same Spirit that Jesus has promised in John 14 that the Father will send down, and the same Spirit who will be with us and will be in every follower of Jesus. Now, Paul talks about that there will be manifestations of the Spirit given. And what are these manifestations? Now, these are the outward expressions or something that can be perceived from a gift of the Holy Spirit. Now, one analogy that I could think of is, you could think of a light bulb. Now, the gift of the Spirit is the light bulb. Now, if you turn on that light, the light and the heat that comes out, those are the manifestations or the things that others could see of this gift. And Paul tells us that these manifestations are given to each one of the believers, and this is to be used for the common good. One of the image that Paul uses in later verses is that of a body, wherein the different parts of the body are moving together, led by the Spirit, empowered by the Spirit, and all working for the common good. These gifts are to be used for the building up of the church, for the encouragement of the believers, and all of this is for the glory of Jesus Christ, who is the source of these gifts. Now, one of the ways that we are encouraged as a church in sharing these gifts is when these gifts or messages are shared with the rest of the body. Now, one way that we can do that in this current setup is if you have received a word from the Lord that the Spirit is prompting you to share with the rest of the church, we would urge you to do several things. Number one, you could either record a video of the word that the Lord has placed in your heart, or you can write an email and send it to the elders at Grace Church Abu Dhabi. We will prayerfully consider this, and we can include this in our next online service. So, what gifts has the Holy Spirit given you? Thank you.